switch it up like that. Switch it up, speaker box blast, 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 blast. Switch it up like that. Switch it up, speaker box blast. Go, 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 go.
Alright, so welcome to part 2, episode 5 of our Teens with Lupus Podcast. I'm your host, Genesis Berlin, and our topic today is school. Well, topic for the next few days, because I know school is starting up, and for us lupus patients, sometimes it can be a good thing, like a distraction, and sometimes it can be the worst experience ever. But, still push through because we're awesome. So, today, so, let's talk about how lupus affects your school life or your life in school. I guess we can start with since I guess we're starting school, we can just kind of talk about how we break that health barrier, sort of. I'll explain it as I go, because that's what we do here. I explain things because I have nothing planned out, because I'm very unorganized and sporadic, which makes me wonderful. Haha. So, I'll tell you, my experience with school and lupus, just starting out. So, I have not had the best of luck with going to school and having lupus at the same time. Let's see, last year, my sophomore year, I'm a junior, by the way, if you guys didn't know that, because I've said I'm 16. I'm a junior. So my sophomore year, at the beginning of my sophomore years, before I started chemo, so I've had to have chemo treatments until about December, January, I believe, and so, that goes straight into school, right? So that was super, super difficult, trying to balance school and health. At that time, I would only go to school about 2 days a week, and even sometimes I couldn't even do that, because it was not even a sort of a half day, but not really a half day. It was more like I didn't have a first period, and then I'd go to my classes the rest of the day, which did not usually end very well. But that's not really what made it bad. What made it, I think, pretty bad was the fact that I couldn't keep up with any of my schoolwork, at all, because I was always, super duper tired, way too tired, and I take, heavy honors classes, so with me succeeding, that was a big thing for me. I'm really big on being on time and being very, very successful, because to me failure is not an option. I cannot fail. It's not even in my... I can't fail, okay? It's not an option. It's not something I do. So that was super duper difficult for me. If you're an overachiever like me, having lupus is very, very difficult, because sometimes you cannot overachieve. You can't do your extracurriculars. Sometimes you can't even do your regular schoolwork. So having a plan for me to get my schoolwork done, on time, that was a huge, huge struggle for me, especially last year. And so I eventually just kind of had to drop out until my chemo was finished and until like the very harsh side effects wore off. And that was super duper difficult for me because, I like to be in school, and me sitting around doing nothing all day at home was a problem. So, yeah, and it wasn't just like me staying at home. My teachers weren't really last year my teachers were cooperating a little better than they did the year before that, but yeah, it just felt really I felt guilty for not like turning in my work on time like ever, because I was sick, so I just had to turn it in when I could turn it in, because sometimes I couldn't even sit down and look at my homework. I just had to like take a nap. So yeah, that's what happened last year. Year before that was even worse. One of my teachers wouldn't even send any of my work home at all, and I was taking an AP class then, so that was difficult. I don't even know how I passed that AP test. Like, I passed it, and I was like, oh my gosh! So, yeah, and I don't even know what happened with geometry. That was weird. So, yeah, that's my experience with school and lupus. I think we've gotten a little better with it. So this year, I actually have a plan. We have more of a plan. We usually have a plan, but at Reynolds, they're just not as cooperative as they need to be. Basically, if it's not cancer, they don't care. If you do not have cancer, or you don't have some type of weird behavioral issue, they don't really care at all. They just kind of brush it off as like not as serious to them. So, yeah. But this year I'm going to a new school, and we have a little bit of we tried to plan last year, and that kind of went okay. This year, I think it's a little better since I'm going to a private school, so the school is smaller, and most of the teachers actually care about your well-being instead of in public school. So, we have more of a plan. So if I'm gone, my classes are online, so I can take those, and whenever I'm homesick, so I'm not like behind. And then I have 2 free periods this year so that I can rest or catch up on work if I have been gone. And most of my teachers all know my condition. Very acquainted with the counselor. I don't know how acquainted I am with the school nurse yet. So, yeah. But I think this year is actually going to be a pretty good year. So, I want to know about your experiences with school and lupus and school, especially starting out like at the beginning of the year to like the end of the year. I want to know which grade you are in. That'd be awesome too. So, make sure you comment, subscribe to my channel, all that good stuff. Oh, wanted to give a shout out to my school counselor, Miss Hall. She's like probably the best person ever that helped me out at Reynolds. She was like one of the only, as I say, one of the only people. There's like a small amount of people that actually would help and care about me and did their job as teachers. Shout out to Miss Hall. I really love her. She was like the best school counselor ever. If you ever listen to this, you probably won't, but it's okay. So, yeah. Want to know about your experiences at school? Please comment below on the Mollyfoot page, on my page, or even on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do not forget about Serving Up Style on September 23rd. Please buy tickets. and at www.mollysfun.org. And we will see you on Tuesday. I love you all. Goodbye.
Switch it up like that.